Listen, guys, as I sit outside my family's house right now, right? Let me say something about them. Let me tell you something, guys. I am not supposed to be able to go to and from my family's house. I'm not supposed to be having a vehicle right now. I'm not supposed to have a roof over my head. These are things that my family plotted against me, right? And the only way I would even remotely have any of these things is if I were to admit to them falsely, right? I'd have to falsely admit that I was schizophrenic, paranoid, seeing things. They basically want the mental rap out of me because with the mental rap, they can take your Second Amendment, they can control when and where you work, they can put you on drugs, they can then say it's mandatory that you take these drugs, and if anytime you take drugs, medication rather, was this drugs, then they can keep you coming to the hospital by appointment. Then what they can do, they can then get a schedule out of you. So now they know that you got to be in the hospital, that's the targeting, that's a street theater. They can then mess with your vitals and your blood. They can mess with the levels of medication. Meanwhile, just telling you it's mandatory. You understand? Or they can just throw you back. You understand? They will play that game. It would kind of be, we'll control you by the mental game, and if you don't play the game how we want you to, then we'll just say you're crazy. You have to be locked back up, and then then you don't have any rights now because now you're clinically deemed unfit for society. And that's what they tried to do to me. They tried to put me in a position where they thought I would spaz out around the police. They thought I would spaz out around the doctors. They thought they could then call me crazy. They could then lock me into a title, and it would limit my abilities to protect myself. Then they could ramp up the thug activity, right? Because, let me tell you some guys, the way they act with me having shotguns in my car, I could only imagine, bro, what these people would try around me if I didn't have any guns. I could only imagine because, I saw what they were trying to do when I didn't have a gun. And when this shit started, I probably didn't have a gun probably for like the first 60 days. But the first 60 days, that would make me, so I'm telling you guys, like, I was not aware of what the fuck was going on. And the only thing that I thought would would create space between me and them, was me getting a gun. And I'm telling you guys, like, it has helped me tremendously. Tremendously. And I'm not taking anything away from the Most High. The Most High is why I exist, why I live, move, and have my being. I'm telling you something here. That the gun helps. It creates space, uncertainty, fear, and it limits their control. And I'm telling you, my family, right? They want the mental rap on me. If they had mental rap, then they would love it, right? They couldn't get the mental rap, so then they tried to, when I got the gun, then they tried to make me shoot people by putting people around me, putting me in hostile situations to where I would use my gun, and then they would get locked up. You understand? And then, the latter would be just death and me just kind of just not having, not being here. And so I'm telling you, this is my family's goal. This is why I do not fuck with them. This is why I do not take them seriously. This is why I continue to come out at nighttime and antagonize them. Because I know that right now they're shaking in their fucking boots because they don't have any I Spy agents able to see what the fuck I'm doing. And I go inside the house back and forth, really doing nothing just to make noise. Because when they have their chance, when they be around their little demons and they want to be together in their conglomerate groups, that's when they want to take advantage. So this is my time. My time is at nighttime. This is when I excel. And they have people driving past, but they can have drive past all night. All you're going to do is make me sit here later and later. So you're never going to see me leave. You can have people drive here back to back to back. You won't see anything, and I'm going to laugh at you like I've been doing. I would honk at you. But again, that would make you believe that I'm here. And right now, you can't prove I'm here because you can't see me. So, like I said, whenever they do something that you don't like, create a consequence for them. You have to create one, and it has to be detailed towards them. But back to my family. Like I said, I know my family doesn't wish me well. And I know that the reason why I have anything right now is because I pushed them in the corner. And that I'm able to prove to them that they are who they say they aren't. And that's why. You understand? Right now, me and my family, and I use that term very lightly, I only use it to identify them. But we have unspoken, like, I won't even say an agreement, but it's an acknowledgement. They know I know they're full of shit. And they know I know. But are they going to say anything? Do they ever? Do any of them? No. So they know I know they're not going to say anything. So when I do certain things, oh yeah, they're going to react to them because they don't, like I said, a narcissist doesn't think anything is fair. A narcissist think they can just beat you upside the head and you're supposed to take it. That's how these people operate. They just think that they can do whatever to anybody and they're just supposed to take it. And it's not just like you have one-on-one. It's a multitude of people. So it's not just like a one-on-one thing or, no, it's a multitude. This is how all of them think. And so because I'm aware of that, I take advantage of that. I take advantage of the fact that I know you fucked up by speaking too much, moving too much. And one thing I before I close this section out, my mom told me about gang stalking. She's not tech savvy whatsoever. She just got a smartphone back in 2015. You know what I mean? So for her to come up with this term and the term gang stalking of all, you know what I mean? The fucking CIA operative labeled terminology that they use for this shit, right? Because we know we wouldn't label it. We call it spiritual harassment or demonic targeting. We more so use a spiritual title. These people, it's gang stalking. You see how it's attributed to gang stalking the world. Like I said, she came up with this. She came up with the idea that this was what I was going through. She told me, and I just start doing research. Well, how the fuck would she know? Understand? Obviously, because she's a part of it. So I'm saying, they put themselves in holes and deeper holes. And for me, all I do is I just take advantage of it. And I don't suggest you let off, and I'm not going to let off. I'm not going to let off anybody who's trying to, come for me. That's just not the way it goes. So, like I said, guys, if you don't know your family's in it, they are. If you don't want to believe it, then that's on you. But your family's definitely a part of it. They're the main ones. And like I said, my family tried the mental route with me because that's all they had. All they tried was the mental route. And I could see they were trying to get me to leave, guys. And again, all they're doing is showing me the false emotions. They show me the false emotions that you know what I mean, to get me to move so I know what it feels like so I'll never move it. So you have to get used to those, trying to get you to move into a situation, try to get you moved to an area. And once you get used to that artificial feeling, you're like, okay, well, I know this is bullshit. Let me wait and see what happens. That's normally what I do. And when I waited, I saw 2 cars pass, and one had their lights off, but they pressed their brakes, so they gave themselves up. But like I said, if anybody follows me when I leave my mom's house, I'm going to put it on camera, guys. You'll see. And we're going to follow them. I'm going to make them get out the car. Understand? So, shalom, guys. Take care.